Hey, Riggers here, and today I'm going to be going through a few recent gaming pickups that I have bought, and they cover quite a variety of different consoles and platforms, some well-known, some obscure, some well-known games for obscure platforms. So we've got a pretty wide mix here. I'm just going to dive straight into it. Excuse any outdoor noise. There is apparently an assault of screaming banshees and some sort of mutants or something outside, aka the British public. So we're going to dive straight in. I'm going to go with this one first. This is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection for the Nintendo Switch. I assume it's focusing. If it's not, I apologise. When this was first announced last year, I was immediately really excited because growing up, one of my favourite PlayStation 2 games was this, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelist of the Roses. I love everything about it. I grew up as a young kid being a fan of the anime and enjoying watching it on CITV, a kids channel we have here in United Kingdom. And the gameplay of this, the strategic card combat and just everything about it is amazing. It's a bit intense when you first start the game. It's got like a 30-minute tutorial with a lot of mechanics to cover, but it's going over, the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! trading card game mechanics and rule set. And there's a lot to unpack, so it is a bit much, but really love that game. So previously, early on last year, I've been looking up eBay listings for the Game Boy Advance games and just some of the older Yu-Gi-Oh! Games in general to see the precursor to that game and the games that came before the one that I knew and loved. And then I remember looking at a listing that was most of the games, like complete in box, and it was like 250 quid or something. But then this got announced, and it includes all the ones that I would have gotten plus loads more, including English translations for the first time of loads of previously Japanese only releases. And that tiny case compared to a massive thing of boxes, it's a massive space saver, a massive cost saver. Originally this released February 2025, so this year, as of the making of this video, for $54.99, and I got it for I think $34.95, so like 20 quid off the original retail price from 6 months ago. So I'm very happy with that. I've only briefly tried one of the games so far, and I was half paying attention to the game, half concentrating on something else, which I do sometimes with handheld games, just like if I'm just doing it casually, like just multitasking with something. And I can't remember which one it was now. Might have been Rechef of Destruction, but I got bored because it was just like 15 minutes of text, and someone rabbiting on about a puzzle box, and I got bored. But I'm sure it's not indicative of the actual gaming experience. It's just there's a lot of like ham-fisted dialogue that I didn't care for. However, I've not actually tried any of the gameplay of any of the games in that compilation, of which is about 16 Yu-Gi-Oh! Games in one cartridge, which is very cool. One thing to know about me, I'm a sucker for compilations and HD ports and all that sort of good stuff to do with modern releases of older things, because I really love to see game preservation in action and to have older stuff that would be being sold for scalper prices in an accessible format. So releases like that Yu-Gi-Oh! Compilation excite me because they're nothing but a good thing for the wider industry and for gamers. So as a concept it's cool. I'm looking forward to exploring the games because, like I say, growing up I enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh! And I enjoy the gameplay of that PlayStation 2 one. So it'd be really nice to see more of the games and see how they play. The next game I'm going to talk about, we'll move to a different platform. We're going to go to the GameCube. This is a game I got from CEX the other day for free via a trade-in from some crappy game I didn't want. It was 27 quid on a voucher, that game. And I got two things with it, and I had £3 left over on the voucher. But this was one thing I got because it's been on my list since before I picked up the GameCube. So I've wanted this since about mid-late 2023, and I first got my GameCube January 2024. So I wanted it for a while. I previously emulated it a little bit on the Steam Deck and played like an hour or so, no more than an hour or so of it. But it's much better on the actual hardware, of course, as is always the way. And I think this is a really solid game. It's got a really good arcadey sort of feel to it, but at the same time, it's quite punishing if you like spin off the track. And I say it's a good fine line between arcadiness, but as it says, it has real car physics, realistic car damage. So it's got the realistic aspects to it, but it's got like sort of like thumping sort of 90s, early 2000s, like dancey electronic music when you're racing, and you know, it's got that arcadey feel to it, but it's got sort of some realistic handling and stuff. So it's like a middle ground. It's one of those games where it's like nestled between arcadey and realistic. But I quite like it. As it says on the back here as well, it's got licensed cars, it's got a variety of different tracks, 33 apparently. And I agree with that when it says it's got challenging night tracks. The hardest stage I did so far was in the African Rally, and oh my goodness, that track was so hard. The actual road, you could barely differentiate it from the dirt on either side of the track most of the time, so I was constantly veering off and smashing into things. But that's the great thing about Rally. You practice the stages, you get used to them, and it's all muscle memory, and you get used to the rhythms. And every single Rally game I pick up, whether it's, you know, from a generic sounding title such as this, no one's probably ever heard of, to Dirt, to the World Rally Championships games, to Rally Sport Challenge, which I've got here. Can you see that? Yeah. There's so much variety because they all have different handling and physics, different game engines. They're all done by different people from all over the world, and they all have a different take on it. Whether it's more simulation, more arcadey, somewhere in between. Such a variety of different stages. It's always a different experience, and they all play differently. Whether the handling's a bit more rigid or a bit more floaty, whatever it is, every Rally game for me is something unique and something different. And this one plays and handles very well. Great handling, cars, soundtrack, visuals, very good responsiveness with the controls. I quite like this one, and I think it's a great racing game to pick up on the GameCube if you're interested in rally and or racing experiences. Not much more to say there. I think it's quite good. The next thing I'll be talking about, I think, shall be another Switch one, because most of these are Switch releases that I've got. This one is called, I'm guessing it's pronounced Baten Kaitos. Baten Kaitos? Beaten. Bachem something. It's called something, and it's a remaster of two JRPGs originally released on the GameCube. I've vaguely heard of this franchise before, but I've never played it. Oh, there you go. It's got a code on the inside, which... There you go. How about that? I don't know what this code is, but I don't really care about it. Someone do something with that, have fun with it. I don't care about it. But yeah, I don't know anything about this game at all, but it looks cool. I've heard positive things about it. Original on the GameCube. Like I was saying, I like HD remasters, ports, compilations, that sort of thing. This is a solid W for game preservation and porting an older game to a modern platform. And you get to play it portably as well on the Switch. That's a good thing. I'm going to dive straight into another one on the Switch. Another Japanese one which I've no idea how to pronounce, but I'm going to try. Disgaea. I want to stick with Disgaea. That sounds the most non-stupid. I'll show you the back of it. See what it includes. There's some pictures of it and the artwork and stuff. Yeah. So this is I believe, strategy RPG. It's a strategy JRPG, which is so up my alley because I love the Fire Emblem games. And I'm excited to see a different game's take on the tactic style. And this is a whole genre, a whole franchise that has at least 7 entries. And one of the next pickups is the very next entry. This is Disgaea 2 for the PlayStation 2. So I ordered this one, and then either a week later or so, a few days, about a week later, when I picked up the Rally game as well, I was trading in that other cartridge, like I said, and I saw this in the CEX, and I've never seen, at least I've never paid attention to it, I've never seen them, but it's not something I often see in the CEX anyway, and I just saw it there, and it comes with the manual, it comes with a nice little soundtrack CD, which I didn't expect, the disc, everything's in amazing condition, like, almost no scratches on that at all. It's always lovely to see that. Just really well kept game. Now I'll show you the back of this one. You can always pause it if you want to read a bit more of it. So yeah, like I said, I don't really know anything about the franchise, but I saw the second one, got the definitive version now on the Switch, saw the second one, thought, oh, okay, I'll pick that up. I have different tiers for how much I like something and depending on when I keep it. So anything I love or just really like, anything that I actually care about, and it has to be something I really love and something I'm willing to replay for me to keep it. If it's something I don't mind, but it's not really worth any money to get rid of at all, or I don't see any point in getting rid of it, then what I'll do is I'll just take the cover, the manual and the disc, chuck the case, and okay, well, this is my CD one. I've got several binders like this. Basically, get rid of the plastic, put the manual, cover and disc in, and then it's like this. I've got this, fits 200 discs in it, I think these. I've got my gaming ones over there. I've got one for CDs and one for DVDs and Blu-rays as well. Well, DVDs and Blu-rays combined, so I've got 3 in total of them. But they're a massive space saver for something I don't want to have on a shelf. Some things I end up with disc only in the first place, so they've got nowhere else to go. Pardon me. But I've just recently picked these disc binders up and spent hours collating all my loose discs strewn around several different areas of the room, and now everything's organised in one place. So if I don't really care about something, but it's not worth selling, I'll whack it in that disc binder. And if it is shit, if it's really proper shit, I have just outright destroyed several games. If it's worth like 1p trade into CEX, there's no market for it at all anywhere, it's just pure shovelware, I just break the game, rip up the cover and the manual, throw it in the recycling, and I use the case for something else, a game that's actually worthy. Because there's no point just putting shit back into the gaming ecosystem if it's just rubbish that no one wants. Like, 1 out of 10 rated, badly made rubbish, glitchy crap. You don't want that. No one wants that, so it goes. Destroyed. The end. Oh, what should we go for next? How about a Game Boy Advance pickup? So, I wish I got this at $12.99, sadly not. This cost about 110 quid. I got it from CEX in London when I went on holiday to London the other week. I saw it and I'd saved up a couple hundred quid for just general holiday spends and just buying whatever crap I felt like when I was on holiday in London. I saw this just in one of the glass shelves at the back of the shop, and I was like, I'm gonna buy that. I want it. And I did. Didn't come in the box protector, so I've nicked this from somewhere else. But it's in really great condition. I'll just open it up a bit. The cartridge isn't in here at the moment because it's in my Game Boy Advance. Apologise for the loud noise of the box protector. So let's open it up a bit. When it comes to things like this, I do get asked, like, have you got like just for display purposes and blah blah blah. I don't got anything just to look at. You buy something to play, otherwise what's the point? I disagree with keeping stuff sealed. That's a debate I'm happy to have with other people. I think it's pointless, and I think games, they exist to be played, otherwise just throw it in the recycling. Lovely full colour manual. European, so it's very thick and has a million languages in it, but you get the gist from that, all the nice little artworks and displays and everything. Very lovely condition, all of it. Let's just have a smell. I love smelling manuals. Doesn't smell as manually as one might hope, but overall it's in very good condition, this. I'm very happy with this. Like I say, random impulse buy, but the Final Fantasy games are one of my favourite franchises ever, so very happy. And because of me picking up that, I thought, well, if I've picked up one Final Fantasy on the Game Boy Advance, I've got to get another. So I ordered this for about 35 quid from a shop online. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 with the subtitle Dawn of Souls. Now, the cool thing about the ones on the Game Boy Advance is They have extra dungeons and jobs and content and things that, and this one certainly does anyway, but they have extra things that other versions don't have, like the PlayStation 1 versions, the original NES, SNES releases, and also later versions like the current Pixel remasters. I don't know if the WonderSwan colour versions had the extra content as well. I think they might have done. Maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But as far as I'm aware, at least in the Western world, all that content came for the first time on the Game Boy Advance. Again, I don't know if it's on the PSP version as well. I think the PSP versions might have had other different content. So many versions, a bit of a head scratcher for me, but I'm trying to build up not a complete collection, but at least a large collection of physical Final Fantasy stuff from Final Fantasy 1 to 13. Ignoring anything beyond that. And getting various spin-offs and other things, including World of Final Fantasy and direct sequels to like 10 and 13, which I've already got, things like that. So I'm trying to get as many physical releases as possible, just for the fun of it, really. But like I say, for the Game Boy Advance ones, they have actual different content, different dungeons and extra stuff. So they have that difference. And also, the soundtrack of this one's really good. Like, I played the Pixel Remaster of 5 with the original, would it have been SNES soundtrack? And that was great. But this is a different kind of great. This is also a really good soundtrack, so very happy with that. I'm looking forward to diving into, because I'm playing the first Final Fantasy at the moment on the Switch with the Pixel Remasters. I've got the physical copy. Is it here? No, it'll be in a different room. But that is that, and that is them, and I love those games. So without further ado, next pick up. Art of Rally, another rally racing game. Yeah, I know, I'm so original. I just get loads of rally games and I love my racing games. This one is different though, in the fact that you play from a top-down perspective. So the screen's like this, and your car's here. Not like, you're not playing first person, you're not playing from, your car's this big on the screen. Your car's about this big on the screen. That big. And you're playing from like I'm not sure it's accurate to say isometric, but it's a top-down view anyway. So that takes getting used to, and it's quite brutal in terms of, spinning off the track and stuff. It takes getting used to, but it's a lot of fun, this game. I've got the big box collector's edition. I've got it over there. Won't bother showing it right now because that can just be its whole own video. But this is a fantastic game. And yes, rated E. I imported this because it's a special collector's edition. It's only 30 odd quid, free postage. I thought, why not? I kind of have a thing for on-off collecting random collector's editions here and there. It makes me sound like I'm a proper hoarder of them. I've only got like 5 in total. 6. Yeah, only 6, like in my whole collection. I've just picked up a few randomly this year for fun. But this is a really fun game so far. Different take on racing because it's like top down. I haven't played many top down racing games, but I like it. Next, I'm going to whiz through these next few. Wingspan, this is called. It's a strategy card game about birds, and it's award winning apparently. I've no idea how it'll play, but it looks really interesting, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. There's the back of the case for this one. I think it looks really cool. I like card games, I like animals, so why not? This is a Japanese visual novel, a romance visual novel. I'm a bit of a... I guess I'm a bit soft-heady, like love stories and romance stories, and whether it be on, TV, film, books, whatever. I love Japanese culture and just the quirkiness of all of that and the storytelling. So I thought, I love Japanese novels. I've got loads on my bookshelf over there. So I thought, why not a Japanese visual novel? And a love story as well. Why not? I thought it'd be fun. I like quirky stuff. Complete departure from that. Doom on the 32X. I originally ordered this from a site a few months ago for £50. And I will not name the website, but I ordered 100 quid's worth of different Doom games. So it included Doom and Final Doom for the PlayStation 1, Doom 3 BFG edition for the Xbox 360. All of it came to 100 quid. The shop posted it and put the actual address they stuck on the box, some other random person's address. They got another customer's address and put that on my box. I didn't get anything. They sent the whole £100 order for free to some other person who then didn't return it and has now got to keep it all for free. and the retailer had to give me my money back. Of course, they've lost out, they've lost stock, and they haven't made money from it. But yeah, I was a bit miffed at that. I don't understand how you can possibly post out an order to the complete wrong address entirely, like some other customer. It's very random, but I don't know things with retail, and I do wish the site well. I do plan to order from them again, but I'm not going to shame them on the internet because it was an innocent mistake, but it's a funny goof nonetheless. You know, we all make mistakes. But it ended up doing me a good turn in the end, because originally from that shop, this was 50 quid. I found it on a different one for only 35. It's complete in box, all in good nick. There's the back of the box with the save sticker randomly placed over the foreign text at the bottom. Don't know why. I must say, I do love the artwork and everything for the 32X. America, your 32X cases are ugly. What is that yellow? This is where it's at. Screw the NTSC copies. They're awful. Cat Quest is the next pickup. I've completed the first one yesterday. It's such a lovely, cozy, feel-good, cutesy, pick up and play, like, open world action adventure game. You play it from like a sort of top-down perspective. Not sort of. You play it from a top-down perspective. You've got different weapons, armor. You get different magic spells. There's a main story. There's loads of different side quests, and you go to little villages, and you can sleep in inns to recover your health. It's all a nice little RPG tropes and a cozy sort of, really accessible pick up and play. Like, it doesn't require loads of concentration. Like, you can just sort of do your little combos, and so it's like a nice little pick up and play for 5-10 minutes sort of game in between doing things where you're cooking, you're waiting for something, or maybe first thing in the morning, last thing at night, when you're a bit bored. Or you can play it for, solidly for an hour or something. It's a really easy to pick up and play game. It's an indie game made by Gentle Bros, as you can see somewhere in the corner. And I'm looking forward to playing the other two, because the easy to access nature of the game makes it quick to learn, and I'm surprised by how much I really enjoyed the game. Not that I thought I was going to hate it. I wouldn't have bought it if I thought it was going to be rubbish. But as someone who's trying to explore indie games and stuff a lot more, I just really fell in love with this game. I give it at least a solid 8 out of 10. I'm looking forward to seeing how the gameplay, because you play as this little cat and you can like roll back and forth. There's like boss fights. There's loads of cool things going on, exploring dungeons, and it's just really nice to see that with like sort of this animated top-down perspective and like a cartoony aesthetic, and it's just a really nice game and a wholesome, cozy RPG. It's very nice. Very much recommend it. And I say it's a nice big hitter for the last one, the original localized Fire Emblem. But of course, what was I going with that? I don't know. I'm mental, apparently. I'm going to show you the back of the case. So this is about the 7th one in the franchise, I believe. Did go over this briefly in my first video on this channel when I was talking about Fire Emblem Engage, talking about this one. But yeah, I started this one the other day, and it's really good. I've had a great time with this one so far. It's Fire Emblem, it's good. I don't know what more to say about that. But yeah, I'd say I'm happy with all the pickups. This is the most expensive one. This cost me 120. The cheapest, what would have been the cheapest out of all these? I don't know. Oh, I do actually. The cheapest out of all of them would have been these two, because they were only 12 quid each. But of course, it's not how much the game costs, it's the actual entertainment value you get from it. But that is rounding up all the last few weeks' purchases. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've had some great experience with some of these games so far. Some of them I've not dove into yet, and I'm looking forward to trying out more. But thank you for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on these games, whether you've played them, whether you're keen to play them. If you have, did you like them? Did you not like them? Let me know everything below. But thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now.